Hey guys, how are you? Daniel here from Singapore, and this is the airport, but it really should be called a shopping mall. It's more a shopping mall than an airport, but let me just go around here. What you're seeing there in the back, the white machines, that's immigration. It's the first time I go through immigration with no human being. You go in front of a machine, they take your picture, they scan your passport, they scan your fingerprints, and you're off. Incredible now that you don't even need human being to go through immigration. I think I did went through immigration on the way in. If you are of one of the Asian countries, you could go into Singapore with no human beings. For me, that I'm a Mexican passport holder, I had to go through a human being coming in. But 90% of the people that come on the airport do not touch a human being to come in. And then very few people really that we're not from this area, we don't fly that often to this part of the world. We have to go through a human being. But on the way out, I had no human being. Everyone goes through the machines. So no human being at all. First, I came to Singapore for a training at INSEAD. INSEAD is the best business school in France. And they have a campus in Singapore. Really amazing campus, great university. And at EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, we have an alliance with INSEAD. And we have a program every year called EO at INSEAD that runs with around 50 entrepreneurs all over the world. And I came to this program this year as the ambassador asked by EO to make sure there's no incidents, no emergencies, and it was amazing. The learning was really cool. I learned a lot how to influence people, how to lead teams, how to really create innovative strategies. It was a really interesting leadership program, but really gave us a lot of tools on strategy, communication, analysis, and all that. So it was really cool, influencing the rest. But for me, the most important part is what happens when you put 50 amazing entrepreneurs in a room. I was blown away how much I learned from the rest of the entrepreneurs that were in the program. And we were from all walks of life. There were 2 people from the US, 3 from Mexico, and the rest were Asians and like probably 10 Europeans, and probably the rest were Asians, a couple of Australians and stuff. Really cool. The learning was amazing. We did a lot of exchange of discussion and conversations and negotiations, and you really see that yes, we're all human beings, we all do a lot of very similar things, but we have very distinct way of seeing the world. So it was very interesting. By the way, as I said, this is really not an airport, it's a shopping mall. As you could see, Ferragamo, Bulgari, you have the best stores in the world in this place. It's really more a shopping mall than a airport. Why it's such an important shopping mall? Because you don't pay taxes. Once you cross immigration, everything is duty-free, and it's the only airport. You have one airport in Singapore. Singapore has around 6 million, so all the flights are international, and you don't pay taxes. So everyone, they buy at the airport every time they do a trip. So it's impressive the amount of shopping that happens at the airport. As you could see, Singapore is a jungle. Literally, it's a jungle, very hot weather, very humid hot weather, very similar to Houston. But what is really impressive is they really care about plants, and they really care about having nature everywhere. There's a lot of nature outside. They have all the corridors and everything has a lot of plants and flowers. It's incredible. But inside, you'll see here, there's a couple of areas that instead of having a column as part of the airport, they wrap on the column with a fountain and some plants. And there you have plants everywhere, all natural plants all over the airport. But here's what I want to say, and I think it's really important. Singapore was part of Malaysia. It's in the tip of Malaysia. And it was a place where Malaysia sent the bad people. It was like a jail or a place where if you behave bad, they send you to this part of the world. And then it became a country, and a dictator really took Singapore and made it what it's today, really put a lot of process systems, diligence, a very strong police, and start changing Singapore. But Singapore was an important country and growing fast in the 90s, as Hong Kong was part of its territory of China, but it was leased to England for 99 years, and the lease expired in 1997. So after 1997, Hong Kong became now a Chinese fully owned territory and operated territory. So Hong Kong was the center if you were a Western company to come to operate to Asia. And if you wanted to have an office and an operation in Hong Kong and from there run the rest of Asia, after the handover of 1997, if you really want to be on the Western world, you come to Singapore. So now Singapore is the center of the West in the East. Indeed, I was reading a couple of days ago the list of the most free countries in the world. Singapore is number 1. It's the most free country in the world. Interestingly, the US went down to 20 in the ranking, and Singapore is number 1. Indeed, what it was most interesting for the report, just 4 countries out of all the countries in the world, almost 170 or 200 countries in the world, just 4 pass the test of being a free country. By the way, this is one of the things that I was telling you. See all these columns? Instead of being a column, just concrete, ugly, they do a park with water. There's fish, there, carps and everything internally. It's incredible, this place. It's really a very nice atmosphere. And you don't feel you're in an airport waiting. You're really enjoying having great food, really good shopping, and then be able to be amazed in these beautiful places with the kids walking around and playing around. So really cool, the airport in Singapore. So as I was saying, Singapore became now the center of the West in the East. So if you really want to do business in the East, this is the place to be. And from here you fly everywhere in Asia. Really impressive. Everything is world-class, banks world-class, government world-class, the construction, cities, airport, everything is really impressive. I used to come to Singapore a lot when I was living in Hong Kong. I probably came 4 or 5 times in 2 years. It has dramatically changed, but dramatically, when I see, it's an understatement. It's incredible what it is today and what they've done. All right, so if you really want to do business in the East as a Western, this is the place to be, and from here you can go everywhere. All right, thank you, have a great day, bye.